Now, back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
All right, welcome back. Matt Steinmetz, Darryl, the Guru Johnson with you. And let's go out to the phones and welcome in co-host of VSiN Live, Shaun King. He was a Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Shaun, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Hey, bang, bang, Niner gang, man. Listen, all they got to do now is bring Future back to perform Tony Montana. And, I mean, it'll just be like back in the day. Niners rolling. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll absolutely get to the Niners, Shaun, but I got to ask you about Aaron Rodgers last night. And I'm just, the Jets fans have aspirations. The team have aspirations. They make the playoffs, maybe make a run. I mean, how you feeling about the Jets today?
I mean, it sucks for Aaron because he was already talking like, this was probably going to be his last year or maybe next year. And to have that kind of injury that takes that kind of commitment to rehab, I mean, we most likely saw him for the last time, which kind of stinks. But, man, listen, hell, we wouldn't know who Tom Brady was maybe if Drew Bledsoe didn't get hurt. So, I mean, it's an opportunity for Zach Wilson, to step his game up. He's got a chance to learn from A-Rod, and we'll see if he's ready. I mean, it sucks. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell Dwayne Brown was doing at left tackle because the other four offensive linemen would pass, pro, and drop back, and he's cut blocking like it's a quick throw. Everybody's addressed the fact that I have no idea what the hell he was doing, and it was his guy that ultimately got back there and was the cause of the injury.
Shaun, let me ask you this, because I was on X, Twitter, whichever one you want to call it, and we know the NFL is $1 billion business, and a lot of people were blaming the turf. I kind of wrote something in that regard. Anything there for you as a former player? Like, why is there not grass?
Well, so I have never played as a player in that stadium, and I was not aware of all the previous complaints. If you go and Google MetLife turf, I mean, it's been an issue now for about 2 years where multiple teams have complained about the footing and, I don't know.
Bosa got hurt there, yeah.
Yeah, but it's something they do need to address. Is that why Aaron tore his Achilles? I have no idea. But if multiple teams are complaining about it, then, as you mentioned, this is a league, and that's in two organizations that have enough money to fix the problem. So I would imagine they don't have natural grass because of the weather over the course of a year in New York, but something's got to be done because too many teams are complaining.
Shaun King joining us. He was a Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, I got to ask you about Brock Purdy. Played essentially half a season last year, looked pretty good, looked very good again in the opener. At what point do you look at a quarterback and kind of say, not necessarily he's arrived, Shaun, but you look at a quarterback as young as Purdy and you say, you know what, he's probably going to be around for a while. When does that time come?
Well, when I see Brock Purdy, I'm trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with Matt Campbell. Because I watched Breece Hall last night, and he doesn't even look all the way healthy, and it was still awesome. Then they play together at Iowa State, and what does Iowa State have to show for it? Nothing. But I digress. My little shot at Matt Campbell there for no reason at all. But I'll say this, man. Damn, Brock Purdy looked good in the opener. If I was him, I might just hold out. Because they need a lowest paid starting quarterback in the NFL currently. I know it's based on where he was drafted, but I mean, excellent performance by him. I'm glad he's healthy. I mean, he looks like he has a great command of what Kyle Shanahan wants done. A big advantage for him is he's surrounded by really, really elite pieces across the board, especially if Brandon Ayuk, who I think's in a contract year as well, is finally going to play to the full potential that he was drafted for. The only negative I see on San Francisco is I feel like they have to win it this year. They can't afford everybody. Obviously, you're only getting away with this because you don't have to pay the quarterback, but Ayuk's going to look for a deal. I'm sure Purdy's going to want to get paid. So they got some guys that are going to have to command some big numbers coming up. They may have to make some moves. So this team, as we know it, with Debo and Trent Williams and Bosa and, all those guys. I think this is the year they have to win it.
Oh, good stuff, Shaun. Now, my partner knows, I criticize Kyle in the situational play calling at times, but also recognize his genius when it comes to play design. I've been a Brandon Ayuk supporter from the gate, and now the world's seeing it. But there was a play Sunday, a 65-yard touchdown run by the running back, McCaffrey, and the Brandon Ayuk was down there, Shaun, just blocking his tail off. And he wasn't the only receiver doing that. And to me, you tell me because you played, that goes back to the coaching, right? The fact that they, it's not about them. They're not getting the ball, but they're watching their brother take it to the house. You got to give coaching credit for that, right?
Well, yeah, and I've always been a big fan of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. I think their only misstep was the Trey Lance situation from start to finish. But other than that, they've assembled, the most talented and best roster in the National Football League. They have a championship culture there. They just haven't been able to find stability at quarterback. With Garoppolo, it was because of injuries most of the time. Trey Lance, I just don't think it was the right fit. Now they have Purdy. We'll see if he can, stay healthy all the way through and see where they can get to. So when you have a championship culture, those kind of plays don't surprise me because that's just a part of who you are.
Shaun King joining us on 95.7 The Game, Super Bowl champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Everybody overreacts in the NFL. Fans, I should say, overreact. Let me ask you this. To me, the three best teams in the AFC, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and Kansas City, they all lost. They all lost week one. What are those locker rooms like this week, knowing that each of those three teams really thinks that they can go a long way?
Well, I don't think anybody panics in the National Football League after week one. I don't think Buffalo's the same team when Von Miller isn't available. He did not play last night, still recovering from the ACL. Joe Burrow missed the entire preseason because of the calf injury. They played in inclement weather in Cleveland, so you could tell they just were rusty and a little off. And Kansas City did not have their best defensive player in Chris Jones and their second best overall player in Travis Kelce. So all three organizations, they know, you got to address the things that we didn't do well, but I don't think panic exists in any of those buildings because, the way you break up the NFL season is in the quarters, and I know it's an odd number, 17 games instead of 16, but you still look at it in quarters for the most part. And listen, you want to be playing great football the last two quarters of the season, and if you got to work out some things in the first quarter or the second quarter, you do it.
Shaun, you got me thinking about, this recovery for Brock Purdy because you'd mentioned Hall yesterday. We saw him on the run. But Micah Parsons led a Dallas defense to shut out the Giants on Sunday night, as we all saw. He does a lot of media. He's got something to say. But he said Brock Purdy's a top 15 NFL quarterback. And I'm driving to work, Shaun, I'll never know. But I believe him, and I feel like Purdy's on that track. When you heard that, how do you process those comments?
Well, I think he's about right. I think it speaks to the fact that there's a lot of mediocre play at quarterback in the National Football League. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that teams have decided to pay the position as opposed to the player. And guys know if your contract comes up at the right time, you're going to get paid. Even if you're not a guy in the organization thinks can help them win a division or a conference or a Super Bowl. So, I'm a little salty because I was born a little too early. We didn't get the experience. This windfall of money that they're giving out now. But I'll say this. Based on what Purdy has done, he looks like he's the top half of the league quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, I'm the kind of person when it comes to younger players, I don't overreact, good or bad, and I tend to not put them in front of guys multiple years of consistency. Couldn't watch Patrick Mahomes and then say, okay, he's not better than, Derek Carr.
Right.
But I can make an argument until Purdy does it for 2-3 years that he's not better than Derek Carr. That's not a knock. That's just he looks like a really great fit for Kyle Shanahan's system. it doesn't look like a transcendent talent where you can put him anywhere and he's an upper echelon quarterback. Now, he can play his way, ahead of my opinion, or he can, do something different, but time will tell. I'm a big Brock Purdy fan, by the way. My only knock on the Niners was they could have stayed put in that draft and drafted Mac Jones, who basically is Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Hey, Shaun, thank you so
Appreciate
much for
it, man.
joining us. I mean, you took a shot at Matt Caldwell. Anybody else you want to take a shot at before you hang up?
All love, man. I'm just saying, you got Brock Purdy at quarterback, Brees Hall at running back, down, Oklahoma's in transition. You can't win the damn Big 12. Come on, brother.
Hey, Shaun, we just did a show a couple weeks ago at the Circa Hotel. We saw you at the Vice's studios. I said, I'm going to go see Shaun. You must have been off, though. We tried to come say hello to you, though.
Next time you're out here, just hit me up. Let me know.
All day.
All right. Thank you so much, Shaun. Appreciate it.
Okay.